Well, hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back, guys. Listen, guys, come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. All right, I appreciate it. I got Storm Mouse, became a member. Now I have my goals up today. Trigger warning, guys, because in order for me to tell you what happened on these YouTube streets with Seth Rogers speaking about his frustrations with Katie and Chris Proudfoot while being attacked by other YouTubers, like crazy being attacked by other YouTubers, I have to tell the whole story. And in order to tell the whole story, there's gotta be a little bit of drama in here. However, we're not going to go back and forth with the drama. So if some of those channels don't like it and they want to talk crap tomorrow, well, we'll be moving on to something else. But today, we're here to be the voice for Sebastian Rogers. And this is what a parent of a missing child looks like. All right. So listen, guys, I've got a huge, not only story to tell, I've got to play the audio. But before we do that, I got to tell you a little bit about Sebastian going missing, why all three parents, Chris, Katie, and Seth, were working together, how they split up, and how now Sebastian's been missing for almost 2 years. And there's a bunch of shit going on the YouTube streets that seems to be preventing anyone from getting answers. The moment a father goes out there to plead for his son in a heartfelt video like what happened last night, people start calling this man fat, a grifter, evil, bigot. I mean, every name that you could think of in the book. While this man was streaming, crying about and telling us intimate stories about his son Sebastian that he hasn't seen in over or almost 2 years, and he was supposed to move in with him the next day, was telling us this, pleading for us while people are attacking him. And then they went on to attack him last night, attack him again today, and continue. So I can't shut up about it. In order to tell the whole story, I gotta tell the whole story. And then you guys will understand why Sebastian Rogers isn't getting the attention from the creators and from the social media aspect that they should, because they're afraid. I've been afraid to talk about this case for a long time because every time I did, I would get clipped and blasted and people would talk shit. But you know what? I feel so bad for Seth, and with his message and all the things and what's coming out, I've gotta share this with you. All right, James, Sadie, there's no way he would leave without his shoes. I agree with you about the concrete theory. Oh my God, let me just start from the beginning and then we'll get into it. Come on in, guys. It's the holiday season. It's coming around. Thanksgiving's coming next week. Christmas is after that. So, first of all, let me say, hit the like button, subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of memberships. Get a membership. We're going to be gifting memberships, gifts, etc. for the next 2 months. All right. That being said, that's what keeps the channel going. And I also haven't put this up in a while. All right. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, awesome. All right. I'll be good timing if anybody wants to donate outside of YouTube where it doesn't take 30%. That would be awesome. All right. Now, Sonia, what's up? You're an angel to always missing and mistreated children. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mary Beth, good to see you. They're trying to silence anyone. And I'm going to show you guys are going to be triggered, disgusted. Some people might come in here and say, you're wrong, Jay. This guy's a piece of trash and he deserves everything he gets. But I have to stand on my morals and my values and say I would never attack a child's parent that was actively looking for them and didn't hold the key to them missing, guys. The people that hold the key, first is Katie, last person to see him. Second, Chris, the man she was on the phone with for hours while she was potentially cleaning up a crime scene and getting rid of a body. All right, now how do we get to that? Well, let's do this. 2 things I need to tell you guys about because Seth is pleading for you guys to, number 1, sign this petition and help him get this case back out there and get others involved. All right. So please sign the Sebastian Wayne Drake petition. I put it in chat. I'll drop it again. I gave it to my mods earlier. This is really, really, really important that you guys sign this and share it. I've already done so. All right. This is you guys can read it, the whole thing. But the issue is they want FBI to take over the investigation of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers from Sumner County. And you'll find out why after. It's been 15 months, now more, since Sebastian's gone. No scent trail dogs, no video footage. Sebastian's leaving his mother's house. No criminal investigation at all by TBI or Sumner County. And then you realize how this got called in. Well, this wasn't called in directly. This was called in on a third party call from Chris and Katie. And they didn't call 911. They called a friend. Phone a friend when you're in trouble, get rid of a body, and call it a day. Then move out of your house and silence everyone, and that's how you won't find a child. Right, it gets me heated, especially when we start getting into the drama section and you see people dress up as Seth and call him a fat boy, a fatty, a piece of shit, all kinds of just vulgar, awful stuff that is just I don't even know. I cannot believe it. All right, so please, that's on my agenda number 1. Please share that, sign it, and do all the things. All right, next I am going to, let's pull that down. The less I have up here, the easier that it's going to be for me to have to go over all of this. So let's remove that. And secondly, Seth asks that you guys share this. You guys can download this at the FBI, on the FBI website. I have a bit of a delay because of, I don't know, the weather or something, but there's the FBI missing person. I dropped a link, gave it to my mods. That's the one that needs to be shared. And they don't want us sharing this one, and you'll find out why. All right, Brandy Dandy, all because he refuses to stop fighting for his son. Now, it sounds like that, Brandy Dandy, but you guys, please buckle up, sit down, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack. There's 111 people, 111. We're going to say a prayer that Sebastian is brought home to his family, to his dad, Seth. I don't think in my heart of hearts that he's alive anymore. Seth does. However, I pray that Seth gets the closure he needs, and you'll see what I mean as we get through this. You guys are going to cuss at the screen. You're going to cry at the screen. You're going to throw stuff at it. And sometimes you're going to be grateful and type nice things, but it's going to get you heated today. You can tell I'm already heated. All right. This is just absolutely ridiculous, and he is absolutely not performing. As much as I don't want to go against anyone in chat, this is not a performance. I've been following this case since day one, and if Seth could perform the way that people would say that he's performing, now you don't have to trust Seth. You don't have to trust Seth to believe that he misses and wants his son home, but you also don't call him a fatty, a pig, a heifer, dress up as him, make fun of him. You don't have to trust him. Emily or Bev or Deb or Lady, to anybody. None of us have to trust him. We don't go to bed with him at night. We don't sleep with him. But what I do know is that he was not the last person to be seen with his son. And he's the one that's still fighting. So you don't have, Seth doesn't have to be sincere. You don't have to trust him. But what you do have to do is respect a father that's grieving for his child, that he doesn't know what happened to him. So yeah, you don't trust him. Nobody's giving him, in my opinion, he's bullying. He's being bullied. He's being shamed. He's being silenced. But you don't have to believe him. If you think he's performing, bravo, Seth. Seth, you should go out and go on the red carpet and get yourself an award-winning role where you don't have to ask people online for donations because you're just that good. All right, because this is ridiculous. This makes me mad. All right, so as we get through this, you guys tell me why people are making fun of him and trying to silence him. It just doesn't make any sense. And the fact that they're all fighting isn't going to find Sebastian. Let's find Sebastian, bring him home, even if it's his remains, and then we'll sort the rest out, look for evidence, find DNA, fibers, all that, right? Right now, let's just bring Sebastian home. This fighting and shaming and saying bad things, what good is that doing to find and bring Sebastian home? Because one side is not looking for Sebastian, and the other side is. One side's shutting us down, the other side is bullying. One side, there shouldn't be two sides. Now, let me tell you something. Are for Chris and Katie when they do FA. Now, listen, I'm going to show you today. So let me quickly go through this because I'm disgusted by all of this. There's no way to bring Sebastian home when we're fighting like this and calling people's names and taking the time to dress up as your wife's ex, and call him a fatty. What good does that do? It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, and it's absolutely disgusting. All right. It's absolutely disgusting to me, no matter how you see it. Give him the benefit of the doubt. What do you have to lose? Is he going to go into your bank account and take your money? What's the worst he going to do? Find his son? I mean, he might be a creeper. Maybe he fancies younger women that are, maybe he's in his 40s and he likes girls that are 20. That's none of our business. And if he were rich, nobody would ever say anything about that. If he were just a rich old guy with a big belly, people wouldn't care that he had money and young girls. But because he likes women and whatever, we're going to say he looks weird and we don't trust him. Trust him with what? What is it that it just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. We're here to find Sebastian. Exactly. What about this creep that's dressing up as him? All right. I've never once bullied him. I wasn't even talking to you, Emily. I'm talking to everybody. All right. So Emily, and I just threw names out. Emily, Shadow, Patricia, Mama Pearl. I'm not talking to you, Emily, or to any specific person. What I'm saying is that's not tolerated on my channel. And anyone that could have opinions about him, just think, what does your opinion have to do with him finding his son? All right. Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, what doesn't matter. When you see what Chris and Katie and all of them are doing, what do you think about that? Nothing. They're doing nothing. Sebastian didn't leave with his glasses or his shoes or a jacket, and it was cold AF. Where did he go? And then his parents move away? Doesn't make sense. All right, so let's start off with this before we get into any videos. I just want to go over quickly. Let me remove this, and I'm going to show you a quick overview. All right, before we get into anything. All right, listen. Chris, Katie, and Seth Proudfoot, initially, they all worked together, guys, in the early days of Sebastian's disappearance. But their collaboration fractured within weeks, reportedly due to conflicting views on the investigation, media involvement, and personal financial tensions. Now, quickly, here's the timeline of their joint efforts until they split up. And then I'm going to tell you what Chris and Katie didn't do. All right. And then we're going to listen to the heartfelt Seth. But before we listen to Seth's heartfelt message, simply to find his son. He didn't ask to go over to your house and come lay with you. He didn't ask for you to open your wallet and write him a check. He didn't ask or do anything to anybody to be called a fatty, to be called a drunk, to be called a pervert, and none of that. He didn't do any of that. And I don't believe that he took Sebastian's life either. All right. What's up, Chief Rocca, Yvette, Shadow, Cassandra? All right, guys, come on in, hit that like button, and you be compassionate with each other, because as this opens more, the things that you say in chat, you might want to eat your words when you see what else is going on the other side. And you should be worried about Seth. We should all be worried about Seth, but mostly we should be worried about Sebastian, not Chris, not Katie, not Seth, but Sebastian. All right. I saw them yelling at a woman who was trying to find their son. How can they be angry? Like, oh, just wait. That's just the tip of the iceberg. All right. Again, it doesn't need to have a side. Sebastian needs to be brought home. He went missing in February. He went missing the same day Maddie did, you guys. Okay. Madeline Soto's case has been solved for the most part, right? Jen Soto hasn't been arrested yet, but she was found and it's been solved. And, well, look at this. All right. I'm not going to answer any questions until I get through this, because this is just so bad that I don't want to lose track or sight of what I'm saying. Okay. Listen, they worked together. Eventually they split up. Sebastian went missing under his mom's roof. He was last seen February 25th, 2024, same day Maddie went missing, at his home, Katie Proudfoot. Chris wasn't home, but it was in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Now, Seth Proudfoot, Sebastian's biological father, lives separately but is informed of the disappearance the next morning, but not by the mom of his child, but by someone else, Chris, the guy that makes fun of him. Now, an Amber Alert was issued. Chris didn't get that. Not Chris. Seth didn't get that Amber Alert, so he's still mad. All three, Chris, Katie, and Seth, are involved in the initial efforts next day. All right, now, late February, early March 2024, the family appears to present a united front. Seth joins the search and speaks to the media. Katie and Chris remain at home and give statements to police and reporters. Surveillance footage shows a figure believed to be Sebastian walking barefoot with the flashlight at 12:17 a.m. Now go forth to mid-March 2024, and tensions surface between Chris, Katie, and Seth. Seth reportedly becomes more vocal about his frustrations and the lack of progress, and he begins to work with independent advocates such as Dog the Bounty Hunter and Jennifer Coffindoffer, a former FBI agent. Right now, I'm just giving you the backstory so you see how they split apart. You see what was done, what was not done, and then the disgusting things that were said and have been said. All right. It just disgusts me. And anybody that can treat anybody like that is not really a friend of mine, because I couldn't do that. Even the worst of the worst, I cannot treat like trash. All right. I still have empathy for people. Now, in March 2024, end of March, Seth distanced himself from Katie and Chris. He expresses concern over their decision making and lack of transparency. Now, Katie and Chris begin limiting public appearances and interviews, and Seth continues to engage with the media and online advocates and pushes for more investigative tactics. So, listen, Seth is publicly saying we need to find Sebastian, and Chris and Katie are moving. They're moving out of the house. They're becoming more quiet. They're not going to the vigil. They're looking to buy motorcycles, and they're having a good old time without having an autistic son to hold them down, in my opinion. Now, early April 2024, Chris and Katie moved out of Hendersonville, citing work obligations, and they believe Sebastian could be anywhere. So why stay at home? Now, the move was criticized and seen by many, including Seth, as a symbolic withdrawal from the search. Seth remains in the area and continues to participate in the searches and public awareness. Now, the split appears to have been driven by differing philosophies in the investigation. Seth wanted to be more aggressive, where Katie and Chris wanted to be more private and less visible. Distrust and communication breakdown. Seth reportedly felt excluded from key decisions, and he questioned the Proudfoot's level of involvement and urgency. When you don't talk, you don't show up at vigils, you don't hand out flyers, and you don't do shit, well, you're not really trying to find your son, is what he's saying. So media and public scrutiny grow the interest of all of us. People take sides. The Proudfoot's decision, move, and their absence from the vigils and flyer campaigns fueled speculations and rift. Now, Chris and Katie Proudfoot did not attend Sebastian's vigil, did not publicly participate in passing out flyers, and confirmed that they moved out of the home where Sebastian disappeared, leaving the home where Sebastian went missing. Now, Chris and Katie left their Hendersonville in early April 2024, just weeks after Sebastian's disappearance. Katie stated that her husband had to return to work in Memphis and Sebastian could be anywhere, implying the presence wasn't needed. All right. Public reaction, the criticism drew, communities came, and sides were formed. Vigil, they weren't at the vigil, but they were seen at a Harley looking at and getting on top of Harley bikes. No public efforts to participate in distributions, and they did speak to Dateline NBC, but their involvement in physical search efforts appeared limited. Katie's made public statements expressing their love for Sebastian. We're never going to stop searching. However, the statements have been criticized, as with their actions, their decision to leave town and not ever search. So how do you continue searching when you never did? All right. All right. So Foxy, thank you for the 420 membership. Now we can move on because, guys, I have a lot to talk about today, and that includes some of the drama that went down. So now let's take a look at this. All right, what's up, ATS? Kathleen, how you doing? Foxy, thanks for the membership. If anybody has the means to get a membership, gift a membership, super chat, super sticker, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all the stuff, just know that we can use that. All right. We just got to make it through a couple more months, guys, until the new year. Now, listen, I'm going to do what I normally don't do on this channel, and we're going to go into the trauma side just for like maybe 10 minutes so you guys can see the other side. Help Jay get this party started. This is a lot of work she does for us. And thank you, Under Your Scars. It is a lot of work. That I jumped on this last night and continued doing this today, even though I was at work all day. It is a lot of work to dig all this stuff up. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, guys. I definitely use it this time of year. All right. All right. So listen, guys, I got to show you real quick. So War Eagle, I'm going to go to that. They go back and forth on YouTube, and there's different sites. But look, I'm going to show you a video. But first, abusive stepfather Chris Proudfoot making fun of Seth, who is desperately searching for his missing son, Sebastian. Now, if you guys were here the other day, you saw Seth demanding answers outside of Sumner County. He had his horn, his bullhorn, Betty horn, and was saying, we need help. Well, Chris Proudfoot and the Krama side took it upon themselves to dress up like a fat ass Seth. And they called him that, and they mocked him, and they said he's a piece of shit for standing out there and looking for his son all by himself. All right. Thank you, Mom, for the $4.99 super sticker. My mom knows what's up. Thanks, Mama. All right, listen, I'm just going to show you some of these, and then we're going to watch the video. This isn't super clear because this is coming from Cluminati. If you guys know her channel, that's Cluminati's, her little drawing of her head ski mask, and that is Chris Proudfoot at Cluminati's house/studio dressing up as a fat ass pig, what they call Seth Rogers. All right. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for the $20 super chat. Jay's always on top with her investigative news. I can't help it. All right. I'm going to show you the video, but look, there's a new sheriff in town. That is Seth Rogers. That is Chris Proudfoot dressing up as Seth, calling him a fat ass pig and making the most fun of him for being out there in front of Sumner County and trying to find his son. All right. So when you see the video, it's a bit different. They're completely making fun of him. And that is Chris dressing up as Seth. Calling him a pig.
Do you motherfuckers even know who this is? Yeah, they know your voice. Look at what he wrote. Paper. Hashtag FUBJ. I was so fucking excited. I really thought that bitch was serving me. I was happier than hell.
Thank you, indeed.
Fuck y'all. What are you doing? And why are you dressed like that? I know who you're trying to be.
Gotta fit the part.
All right, so look, that's Cluminati. That's her side. We've got Cluminati. We've got Queen Bee, which, by the way, Queen Bee stream sniped him. And you're going to hear in this interview of Seth last night, he literally cut off his live stream where he was pleading for Sebastian to come home because they were stream sniping him and calling him a fat pig. They were saying that he was drunk. I mean, they were saying the worst shit about him. You guys can make up your mind, but I don't give two shits. I don't think he was drunk at all. I almost cried. I think that he was looking for his son. He's tired, he's exhausted, and he doesn't know what to do with himself at this point. But the things that they said, I don't agree with. And the only way I could show you is by showing you.
Turn your camera around over where they can see. Hold on, let me turn this light up.
Look at this. Look at this motherfucker, y'all. Can you see him?
That is the abusive stepfather that we know has CPS reports and has whooped Sebastian's ass dressing up as what they call a fat pig Seth. All right. And they did that last night and they did that today and they continued to do that.
Oh my God. I'm so irritated right now. I really thought I was getting fucking... Show me your...
It's fucking bad to say
Amen.
Samael.
My name's Deputy Samael, and I'm with the Special Police Department from the hashtag FUBJ.
Show me your thing.
Yeah, I got my
Super soaker.
my super soaker.
I
They're
can't
making
stand
fun of
y'all.
it.
Do you motherfuckers even know who this is? Yeah, they know your voice. Look at what he wrote. Paper.
Y'all know I wouldn't even bring you guys some old shit. This happened last night. Now, this happened last night based on the new video that just came out. So let me just show you this real quick. All right. Two things happened at the same time. So let me show you. Let me show you what that was based on. And then I'm going to show you what they did, the full 2-minute video. And then I'm going to show you what Seth was begging for last night and what they did. Now, what they're mocking him from was this video.
Son is missing. He is not dead.
18 months later, and the mystery remains about what happened to this young man, Sebastian Rogers. The now 16-year-old seemingly vanished from his Hendersonville home in February of 2024. Patsy Montesino.
All right, look.
There were
This is
massive search efforts looking for the autistic teen, but as time passed, they stopped. Now his dad, Seth Rogers,
Watch.
feels frustrated with law enforcement. He says they're not doing enough.
Nobody's been arrested, and my son hasn't been found.
That's why he's standing outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
So I can.
all right. Now, this is what they're making fun of him for. What I'm going to pull up next. They dressed up, put a fat belly, and the names, the most vile names. I could not do it today. I was going to stream another. And thank you, Indiation, for the $1.99 super sticker. I was going to do another thing today, and I said, you know what? I cannot not stick up for the father that's looking for his son. I don't care what he does behind the scene, guys. I don't care. But that makes no difference. I don't care what y'all think. I don't care if you think he's fat, ugly, whatever. That doesn't have anything to do with any of this. So look at him. He's out there almost by himself, pleading to Sumner County for his son. And then I'm going to show you what they did to make fun of him. And then you're going to see the latest interview. And then I got more.
Look at that window
Wow.
so I can see him if they come out.
Joined by other supporters.
I am
Not
part
many.
of Team Sebastian. I just want answers. The community deserves to have answers.
Demanding another agency like the FBI get involved. I reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff with these concerns and call them with any.
We saw
Almost
this.
2 years.
So there was like 4 or 5 people that were supporting him. You saw that? Did you see that last night under your scars? I felt so bad for Seth. What's up, Teresa? Good to see you, my friend. Hardly anyone showed up. Now, listen, who's body shaming? Now I'm going to show you. Now we're going to come up with that next. We're going to stop sharing this bad boy. And I'm going to show you the next video of, right after this, Chris Proudfoot. And Katie was probably there. We don't see her on camera. Chris Proudfoot is hanging out with Cluminati and crew, and they're making fun of Seth. Now, here's the post from At Night. At Night vehemently denounces the latest reprehensible actions of Christopher Proudfoot, who reportedly dressed up as a fake sheriff in a shameless overnight mockery that further exposes his utter contempt for the gravity of Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. This grotesque display of juvenile antics amid 18 months of anguish for Sebastian's biological father, Seth, and the dedicated volunteers is nothing short of despicable, and it reveals a man more invested in provocation than in seeking justice for a missing child. His behavior speaks volumes and proves yet another mistake in the FBI's latest release, painting him as a victim of tragedy, when in reality it showcases his pattern of callousness, alleged abuse, and obstruction that demands immediate scrutiny and accountability. We're all appalled by this heartless farce, which not only inflicts additional torment on the tireless searching, but also erodes public trust in the investigation. Proudfoot must be held responsible for turning a family's heartbreak into his personal circus, and we call on law enforcement to investigate this. All right, let's take a look at this together.
And what the video shows is kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah. Proudfoot chooses to mock him.
Turn your camera around over where they can see. Hold on, let me turn this light up.
All right, here's the
Look at
video.
this.
2 minutes.
Look at the Can you see him? Oh my God. I'm so irritated right now. I really thought I was getting... Show me your...
It's fucking bad. It says
Hold on.
Samael.
My name. That's my name. Deputy Samael.
All right, you see that? I showed you the stills earlier. He's back in the back of Cluminati's, right behind her camera where she puts her little her pink ski mask on, and they're making fun of Seth, which they go on to do again last night after his appearance and during it.
I'm with the special police department from the hashtag FUBJ.
Show me your thing.
Oh, yeah, I got my
Super soaker.
my super soaker.
I
Make
can't
some
stand
noise.
y'all.
None of these work. What's up? with
Well,
my
I'm going to
puppers,
get off
guys?
here and go visit with the process server. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe back on later, might not.
This is not humor. This is heartless. A purported stepdad
Thank you.
who should
for
be
being a member
helping
for-
instead ridicules the pain of a grieving father while altering public perception on national television. This video depicts the true Christopher Proudfoot. Sebastian has been missing for 500.
Now, remember, guys, I showed you this a couple of days ago. I gave you a little bit of the backstory and told you what was happening. We heard Chris and Katie cussing at private eye ladies that were just trying to help. All right? Just trying to help. And thank you, Green Spirit. If you guys didn't know about any of this, I hope you learned something now. Like, share it if you can, hype it, and share it with the community. So those of you that learned something new today, understand that somebody's hiding Sebastian's body somewhere. So one side is hiding something and the other side is trying to find it. Who's silencing who? All right?
And 59 days. A boy lost, a family shattered. Where is the justice? Sebastian Rogers deserves better. We all do.
I just want you guys to understand that's the FBI. I put the latest one up, but anyway, the whole point is missing person Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers needs to come home. All right, we need to help find him, and we need to understand that this is not a mockery. This is not funny that Seth is crying for his son or sad for his son or reaches out because he doesn't have anybody else to talk to about where his son is. He should be able to talk to Katie. Now, I don't care what happens. If something were to happen to my child, and I know my other screen's not up, hold on a second, the internet's a little slow. I know that if something were to happen to my child, whether I was with the other parent or not, I would keep in touch with them myself and I would let them know what was happening. I would have enough respect to communicate with them. All right. And that's fine. She decided not to do that. You don't have to do that. I'm not going to tell people what they need to do, but don't do this to the man. Now, this is brand new, came out last night. In the middle of it, if you were in this and you watched the chat, there was a lot of trolls talking mad shit about Seth and even interrupting his stream by live streaming his stream and calling him a fat pig and a piece of shit and that he's drunk. All right. All right. Let's listen to this together.
How's everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing fine. Sometimes I wish I could be involved. Let me do this real quick. Over here, mute that.
Put the words up there.
Everybody can hear me fine?
And of course, we're going to stop it a little bit to talk about it, but I just want you to see what he has to say and what his purpose is. And my God, I've never seen such disrespect to not only Seth, but Sebastian. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. After this, I'm so sorry. This is disgusting. Me too. I was having trouble even sleeping last night because I wanted to talk to you guys about this today.
Everybody for coming into my life today. There's been There's been some things going on. There's been
Nope.
a lot of horrible things going on
He's
YouTube
not
as of
drunk.
late. Some despicable things. Some of the stuff I'm not even going to address. It's disgusting.
Thank you, Deb.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Watch this whole thing. We'll stop it a little, and you tell me this is not him. He didn't ask for money. He wasn't grifting. There's no griftmas. None of us are doing griftmas or grifting. We're all trying to present true crime, and the people that say that the most are the ones that are doing it the most. All right. So this is just none of the things that they say is anything that he's doing. And he doesn't seem drunk one iota. But if he were, I would never blame a man that has lost his child for almost 2 years and out there as a freaking own personal army for having a drink. But I don't think that he was drinking at all, not even a little bit.
Continuing to talk about Sebastian. I continue to ask people to hand out flyers because that's been my main thing, to ask everybody. Hand out flyers. Continue to talk about him. Keep your eyes open.
Not too hard, right?
He is out there. The only goal that I have is to find my son and to bring him home. There are a few things that I do want to address.
Let's go.
People using my name, sending my name out in emails and stuff without addressing it with me. Anybody that's doing that, they should be talking with me first. I just want this to be a record that not everybody is speaking with me. People using my son's name to be a promotion to do something, if they are not speaking with me or my son's mother, and prefer they're speaking with both of us, or if they're doing some type of event that they are having either Katie Lynn Proudfoot,
you're welcome,
or me, Seth Robert Rogers, at the event to make sure that it is properly done. And when I say properly, that we're there to make sure that it is being done, that it.
And guys, they're not doing much. There was just some kind of thing he's going to talk about in a little bit, some kind of pig fest or something. A lot of these creators that are against him also live in Tennessee. And so it's like when you hear them making fun of him and he's talking about, maybe I should be the sheriff or maybe we should get these people kicked out. They're like, not in my town, you don't. You come to my town and do that and I'm running this shit. Who follows people like that, guys? Would you guys follow me if every day I came on here and I told you how beautiful and rich and great that I am? I'm so much smarter than all of you guys. Look at that fat pig. And I was body shaming people. You guys, there's thousands of people in chat waiting for these people to come on every day. I barely get like 2 people waiting for me to present this stuff that needs to be presented. What is up with that? Absolutely not. You wouldn't come watch me if I was telling you how beautiful and great and how skinny and much better looking I am than all of you. None of you guys would. Then why do people do it for other channels? I don't get that. I would never be that. But I'm just saying I can't understand why y'all would throw your money at people that are doing these awful, vile things, sickening, disgusting. I wouldn't sell my soul to the devil for that no amount of money, let alone, but I just can't understand it. I can't imagine doing that to y'all and you still coming back and throwing your money at me.
It's probably not
makes no
an
sense.
Official type of thing.
Thank you,
if
Mom,
people are going to be doing that sort of stuff, please make sure that you're obeying by the laws. I'm not up for any type of vandalism, violence, or any of that sort of stuff. No trespassing, no impeding people's way to their work, no trespassing on people's property, not interfering with people getting to work, not violating people's spaces, not trespassing on their property. I heard something about somebody doing something on Sebastian's birthday.
Now, remember, guys, this was from last night. I was just doing dishes and cooking and all that. And I start hearing this guy talk and I listen. And then I start watching chat and I'm like, unbelievable. I could not believe what people were saying in chat. And then to even go further under your scars, you wouldn't believe it. to see QB's chat and her just making fun of him. Now, I'm probably going to get some heat because they already don't like me. All right. They see me inside of BJ's chat because you know what? Who cares? I go in there and I talk, and I have a lot of subscribers from you guys that go to Brittany J's channel later on at night. Who cares? I'm not going to call BJ fat and a pig and make fun of Craig and tell him to get. I'm not going to do all that. And I'm not going to take sides over that. But lo and behold, I watch this and I see people fucking with him as he's crying, as he's doing this. It makes no sense. If I could turn one person away from this shit, I'll be happy for today. And thank you for being a member for 11 months. All right, let's listen to him for a little bit, unless I have to interject something important.
I have not been made aware of this. I don't know if Katie has been made aware of this, but whatever you're doing, please do not be harassing Chris and Katie at their house. Even if it is true that I heard that they don't even live there anymore.
And by the way, they don't live there. And do you hear what he just said? Don't be harassing Chris and Katie at their house. But just before him looking for his son, the abusive stepfather dressed up and was calling this guy a pig. All right. So just remember that. Remember who takes the higher road.
They have somebody else living there. Do not be harassing Chris and Katie's neighbors. Yes, Sebastian resided there, but he also resided here. People drive up and down this, take pictures of my house. I've had people come to my house. You come here and you ask for flyers and stuff, and I will give them to you. I do not have a problem with that. Chris does have a problem with people coming to his house. Chris has a problem with that. Katie has a problem with that.
Yep.
I do not have a problem with people coming to ask me for flyers and stuff. I have no problem with that.
No,
I have no problem with people looking for my son.
Yes, let's find
I want my
Sebastian.
son found. I can only speak for myself. I do not speak for anybody else. Let it be clear. I want my son found. I speak for myself. I have flyers if people need them, and I have no problem handing flyers to people to spread that at all. Now,
there was almost 2,000 people in chat here, guys. And I was like, oh man, this is great. I've been waiting to hear something. The holidays are coming up. He's missing his son. And then this, right? Now, Green Spirit, Seth might not have made some not so smart choices. In his defense, who can think clearly when your child's missing? But he certainly doesn't deserve any of this. And what I said on my thumbnail today is this is a father that wants to find his son. Now, I've always said Katie holds the key. Katie passed that key to Chris, in my opinion, and they don't want to find Sebastian because they already know where he is. All right. He didn't leave in the summer. It was cold AF, didn't have shoes on, didn't have glasses on, and there's no story other than thud. And then he disappeared. They move off. Does that make sense? All right. You tell me when the last time. There wasn't. Seth did. Seth did passed out flyers. Seth even, and Dolly said he'd fly out there and help Seth go and search. All right. He genuinely, Dolly does that. So that'd be awesome. Seth's asking for help right now.
I have a problem for people speaking for me. People say that they do speak for me. Not everybody speaks for me. I speak for myself.
You're good, Abby.
There were some emails that were sent for a previous event, an organization. I went to that event. Me and several other people went to that event.
And that was that pig fest.
I enjoyed the event. I spoke with several people at the event.
Now, remember, those other creators were there. I just want to let you guys know that whole side that they call the dark side. All right. And they embrace that name. They're not mad about it, but that includes Queen Bee, Cluminati. Jay for Justice just got kicked out of that group. So there's a lot of people on that side. All right. I have to deal with a real one. All right. In the beginning, the people that went to help search were harassed. Exactly. And if you're a creator and you stream this on your channel, you'll also get harassed. I assure you.
The community has not forgotten that Sebastian is missing. The people that were serving food were a lot of Sebastian's classmates. People that were there with the organization that were doing the event know that Sebastian was missing. The only reason I wanted to go was to let them know that I was there representing Sebastian. I wanted them to know that as his father, I was still there because Sebastian was part of that. And I wanted them to know that I was there. And I appreciate the fact that they knew who I was and that Sebastian has not been forgotten.
It is, guys.
And I appreciate Hendersonville for understanding where I am.
Okay, they were supposed to go there. I guess Cluminati was supposed to go there. So what happens is they do something wrong and then they throw money at it. So they'll do something wrong. Someone will come out with something and they'll be called racist. And then they'll put money into a billboard and all is forgotten. All right. So, and I don't watch those channels either, but it's so hard not to see all the shit that's going on when you're watching a chat like this and you see people attacking them. All right. Now they were going to that pig fest that he wanted to spread awareness, talk to people, meet people, and get the word out about Sebastian, not to forget about him.
Coming from, and that my son is my life. And I appreciate the fact that they know that I was there.
Oh, you went there?
And I appreciate them understanding that I felt it when I was walking through there. That's Sebastian's dad. I heard that a lot. And then I heard the conversations that they were having about Sebastian after they saw me. I was there wearing Sebastian shirts. And I heard them having conversations about Sebastian. And that is what touched me. Because my son is not here. I have a problem with people in there, in that community. That problem happens to be the sheriff's department. That problem happens to be the DA's office. These are people, I believe, that are not doing their job the way they should have done their job. Because my son has not been found. It's not with the individual people in the community. I know people in the community.
Now it's going to start getting a lot. It's going to pick up right now a lot more. And he's going to start telling us about his frustrations with Katie and Chris. And then he's going to start getting attacked on YouTube right here, right now. Now, Carolina, let me fill you in a little bit more. Jay got kicked out of the group because she was doing alts, but it also just came out. Somebody released an audio with Jay for Justice, and she talks about NIGGERs in those. So if you just look up Jay for Justice, go to YouTube and type Jay for Justice racist, and you'll find the clip where she's talking about Dr. Patrice Berry, Dr. B, Dr. Patrice. I love Dr. Patrice Berry. She calls her a NIGGER multiple times. That's unacceptable. She also says that it's boring to watch black criminals. All right. You don't want to stream. Who cares about the black criminals and who cares about the missing black children? Because it's boring to cover those cases. All right. I'm telling you, I'm not making this shit up. Thank you, Lady for Justice. I know you know what's going on. Member for 11 months. All right. Yeah, no, like that's unforgivable. I like Dr. B, Dr. Patrice Berry. I love it. She's connected to Vanessa from Unmasked, which I also like. That's why I know what everybody's talking about. All right. Cluminati also said that all the monkeys should go home to where they belong. So everybody has some kind of racist shit. No, I'm not kidding you. Clue called the kids monkeys, and Jay just calls them NIGGERs. All right.
Know that Sebastian is missing. And I know that they are wanting Sebastian found individually.
Yeah, where's Sebastian?
I would love for the sheriff's department to grow a set and have some responsibility. And I'd like them to actually speak about my son. Not say what they're doing, but actually speak about what
I know
they have
right?
done. Not what they are doing, but what they have done. Or even come out and speak and state that they are still working on it. But instead, they will not even do that. They're keeping it so tight-lipped that it seems that they're not doing anything.
Agreed,
And
Seth.
to bring that up,
Agreed.
I would like to know why it is that Brandon Carter, the one detective on the case.
All right, now we're going to get into the details. That's why I needed you guys to be filled in on what happened before, how they split up with Chris and Katie, where the fighting came in, and where we are now. So I hope you guys are here and strapped in for a little bit, because I also want to play a little bit of the lab and Chris McDonough that also said he would help Seth if he reaches out. I want you to see their take on those nasty leaked calls just a little bit. So guys, buckle up, buckle in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, share all the stuff. All right. I appreciate y'all.
Which I have multiple text messages from this person, states that he is the only detective on the case as of now because they have gotten rid of Tim Bailey because he has retired last year. They never put any more people on the case. But I have multiple text messages stating that he's busy in court on other cases, which state that he is not even only working on Sebastian's case. He is just a detective that is working on Sebastian's case, which means he is a detective with multiple cases, and Sebastian is just one of the cases that he is on. And he does not even have the integrity to tell the truth.
You guys.
That's the kind of stuff that leads to, it just leads to me believing nothing that comes out of his mouth. When you sit there and lie over and over and over again, and I start catching you in a lie over and over, and it's not just one lie, it's multiple lies, at which point in time do you actually think that I'm going to believe any of your lies, Brandon? Somebody in law enforcement, you're supposed to represent the badge does not represent you.
And again, he's just getting fed up, and he's starting. He'll start talking about Chris and Katie. He did good bringing them together and trying to say don't disrespect them, but his frustrations are coming fast.
Catch you in too many lies, you're just a criminal. You're just the person that uses the badge to get whatever you want.
Thank you.
Which makes you just about as useful as a holy blanket. I don't know what your protocol is in Sumner County for only having one detective on the case, but when you have only one detective on multiple cases, every case is going to suffer, which then leads to resources. You have a sheriff that's asking for multiple resources, and he's asking for more resources to pay his people, but then he's turning around and he's asking the city for $223,000, I believe is what he asked for at the last city meeting, so that he can turn around and rebuild his office. Buddy, you should be working out of a tent to solve cases before you worry about the roof over your head. 2 years now is what we're coming up on. And you won't even do a proper.
I mean, do y'all think Seth is drunk here? I don't even know where that lie was started from. I don't know who perpetuated that, but he doesn't look drunk, looks tired. We know he is. He's been stressed out. We've seen him. He's put on some weight. There's nothing about him that looks drunk, but there's also nothing about him that I would call him names. Justice Jane, good to see you. I saw you in some of the chats last night. It's nice to see people in and out. Now, somebody just emailed me, and I guess yesterday, Chris on Mob, and this is awesome. Chris is doing a great job. On Mob said that the neighbor behind them in a white truck that Katie possibly had an affair with thinks he may have helped. Remember, he's a rent-a-cop and was first on the site. That was the department, not the locals, and Chris called them first. So they didn't call 911. They kind of went through different loopholes and called their buddies. So nothing was really officially done, and I think that's what he's talking about. Yes, I do love Mob Crew. I like the lab. I like Chris McDonough. Right? He doesn't seem impaired at all to me, but even if he were, I couldn't be upset at the man, but he's not, in my opinion.
Won't even do a proper. You won't even do a proper TV interview for my son. You can't even put his picture up when you sit there and speak about him. You guys don't do a proper scene. My son went missing, and you guys immediately 8 days. 8 days. You guys want to sit there and you call in so many different counties, but the scene was handled horribly. You treat it as a runaway, but you don't even know if it's a runaway or not.
There's no way it could have been a runaway. Now in hindsight, that couldn't be a runaway without his glasses, without his shoes, without much clothes, without anything warm, without any dogs tracking anything. You can't run away without any proof of any of that. Right now, had he had his glasses, his shoes, maybe a jacket, maybe a bag missing, maybe even not, maybe just his regular clothes, glasses, shoes, I might believe it a little more.
How many days did it take for y'all to turn around and get, not public announcement, it's a press conference? Thank you. Sorry, my brain has been running 24/7 so long that half the time I don't know if it's day or night or, you know, I'm confused by the fact that
Yep.
they don't follow protocol for any of the stuff that they're supposed to be doing. I'm confused by what I see on the internet.
What
I
protocol?
mean, there's a
Nothing's-
child missing, and I see true crime people putting my son's name in the titles of their videos
and not talking
making
about
fun of other YouTubers. Hey, if you want to do that, that's all fine. Take my son's name out of it, though. Have
They
a little
can't.
respect for a missing child.
That's what's bringing the money.
My son's name is not in this title.
Yep.
It's just been too long. Because there's a lot of stuff that's just been too long. Because there's a lot of stuff that's just been too long. You know, there's just a lot of stuff that's just been too long. There's been too long. Been too long.
Oh yeah, that was a funny thing too. If y'all were watching this last night, that's what everybody titled theirs, the exact same thing as his. Been too long. And they said it over and over and over like it was funny that it's been too long. But you're right, it's been almost 2 years. That's way too long for there not to be criminal charges and for them to still say he was a runaway. What? And the things that are out on the streets, all you have to do is hashtag Sebastian Rogers, and then you could talk about all the drama and people throw money at you. Why is that? Is something wrong with this platform? I don't get it.
Let's go with been too long. How about it's been too long since I've seen my son? It's been too long since I've been able to talk to my ex-wife
Yes.
about my son.
Yes.
How about it took 9 months, Katie, for you carrying our son, all right, 9 months, over 9 months, because Sebastian was late. It was more than 9 months that you carried him because Sebastian was late. Sebastian was born on December 7th, 2008, and he was 5 days late.
His birthday's coming up.
5 days late. All right, 5 days late. So many complications. And I was there with you for every one of them. And I was there with you for the whole pregnancy, babe. I'm sorry. I shouldn't call you babe. I was there the whole time, Katie.
And I think that was just him using his, language. People do say when Seth is around women, he kind of likes to be a ladies' man. I don't think he has anything for Katie anymore. He just wants to talk to her about efforts for finding their son. And like I said, guys, if I were missing a child, I don't give a shit who I had that child with. I would be talking to them to at least coordinate efforts of finding my child and bringing them home at this point to bury him. I'm sorry. All right. Exactly. He used to call her slipped through. Yeah. What happened? Now we can't talk to Katie. You got to go through Chris. But why is that when he wasn't there?
I was there the whole time. You and I created this wonderful being that was gifted to us by God.
Amen.
And Sebastian decided that he did not want to come out when the doctor said he was supposed to come out. He was stubborn before he even came out.
Poor guy. He's so tearing.
He was like, nah, I'm not going to.
Oh, I remember. This is called emotional manipulation and religious manipulation, guys. That's what they said about this. Nothing here is emotional or religious manipulation. He's genuinely emotional. You can see it. I got emotional. I'm getting emotional. And when I pray for somebody or do the 111, I'm not trying to manipulate you religiously by talking about God. All right. And I agree, I Spy. Katie will blow it if she talks by herself, but they called this emotional and emotional and religious manipulation. All right. That's what they call this segment right here.
Listen to you.
Not even.
Nope, not going to come out. I'm going to stick around.
Thank
Came
you.
out December 7th, which happens to be my dad's birthday, too. So he comes out December 7th.
It's almost his birthday, yo.
Pearl Harbor Day. December 7th, my dad's birthday, and we are blessed with this miracle.
We need to find Sebastian and stand up for Seth, whether you like him or not.
Why is it, Katie, that in order for me to speak with you, I have to talk to this this thing that you have decided is your husband now.
I love it.
He had nothing to do with you and I creating Sebastian. He has nothing to do with Sebastian. He had nothing to do with you and I having a son. He had everything to do with us not being together now. Has everything to do with Sebastian not being here now. Has everything to do with you and I not being together. Has everything to do with not being a family. And that's fine.
Yeah,
it's okay. It's okay with him having everything to do with destroying the family that you and I had. That's fine. That's fine. But why is it that I can't sit there and speak with you about trying to find our son unless I speak to this thing that thinks he's a man? Because let me give you my opinion. Just my lonely little opinion.
And I've showed you guys before. I've showed you in other videos. I've been covering this since the beginning. I've showed you in other videos where Chris goes up to Seth and tries to intimidate him, goes up to the truck, talks shit, and then when he doesn't have it in front of him, he goes on camera to the people that he knows will let him on camera and makes an ass of himself, trying to make an ass of him. So can you understand why he doesn't want to talk to Chris? That wasn't the one that was responsible and wasn't the one that was there supposedly when Seth even went missing. Yes, Seth does have a channel and it's in my description. All right. Everything's in my description. And good to see you, Graciela. I hope you're doing well.
As a man, if any male wants to sit there and look at another man's wife and decide that he is going to take that person from that other guy and court them, which I don't even think he courted you. But if another male is going to look at a female that is married and decide that they're going to take them from another person that's married, that male needs to remember that when he takes that female from that male and that female has a child, he needs to remember that he's not taking just the female. He is also needs to be responsible for protecting that male's offspring with his life.
Amen.
Because that offspring is that male's life. And
yes, ma'am.
For your whatever you want to call him, to ask me that question that he asked, what are you going to do if it goes south within 30 minutes of walking through the front door after he quote unquote gets to Memphis as fast as from Memphis to your house? Because it's your property, remember? Ask me, what are you going to do if it goes south? That question alone tells me he's not a man or a father. Because no man or father would ever ask another father, what are you going to do if it goes south? Because no father would ever ask another father what he's going to do. Because a father already knows the answer to that question. No father would ask another father that question because a father knows the answer without ever asking that question. And Chris, you already know that answer. It's a shame that you didn't have one in your life to answer that question for you. But you should know the answer just by my look. You should know. You're a despicable beast.
And you know what? I don't blame Seth for saying that in one bit after seeing all throughout this over the 2 years what they've done to him. And it's not Katie, because Katie stays behind the scenes and is meek and quiet, except for that leaked footage the other day, the leaked audio where Katie's real self came out, and all of a sudden she's cussing for 20 minutes about a property line. You're looking for your son. They're trying to help you find your son, the one that you lost on your watch. And you're going to fight over a property line. Come on, it's deeper than that, guys. You don't want your child to be found if you already know where they are.
Pray that my son is found. He's found healthy. Pray. Pray. Pray.
No, but thank you, Graciela.
My son deserves better than you. Pray. My son has been failed.
Yep.
By CPS.
Yep.
My son has been failed by the sheriff's department. My son has been failed by TBI.
Hey, Wyatt.
My son has been failed by the DA of Sumner County. My son has been failed by so many people. It's infuriating. And things need to change. And I'm coming here today because I feel like I need to remind Sebastian's army.
Yes, we're Sebastian's army.
When I ask you all to hand out flyers, I'm serious. Hand out flyers.
We're Sebastian's army. Anybody that's still spreading the word about Sebastian, even if you didn't watch the case from day one and you just picked up on it in the last month or the last week, please, I gave you guys the petition to sign and I gave you the link to the FBI new flyer. All right. If you're local to Tennessee, get a hold of him. If you need to figure out how to, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. I have this man's email and he will respond. And I do like that Dolly, no matter what he does with his clickbait and stuff. All right. What are you all going over? We're going over last night's stream looking for Sebastian. Right. So last night, Seth pled to us, Sebastian's army, to look for Sebastian. He's going to be 17, I believe, December 7th. All right. This was from last night.
We have to keep our eyes open. We have to. If you stop looking and you stop handing out flyers, then you've given up. I refuse to give up. I have faith that my son is out there. I have faith that my son will be found.
Thank you.
Because that's all I have. I have faith in God. I have faith in Jesus. My son will be found. I have faith in God that God put his only son here because I am not perfect.
Yep. I also
and he put his son here for my sins so that I have something to strive for.
Yes, I also covered the Summer Wells case, even though that is the same kind of nonsense. Yes, I do. If you guys go back and check out my playlist, you'll see all of those, all of the cases under the playlist. Thank you so much, Storm Mouse. Welcome to the crime crew. I saw you earlier joined, and thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. Yes, I'll leave that up there as we continue. Yeah, his eyes.
I am here because my son is here.
Crystal clear, guys.
And my son being here is what I strive for. To be here for him. And I am here to find my son. I am here to find him. I'm not done making memories with my son. This is a setback in life. I need people to stay here and help find my son. Help by passing out the flyers. I believe it was 3 days ago, I shared a flyer yet again. It is an FBI flyer that I shared to my post. Use that flyer. I do not know why Sumner County does not want the FBI flyer used.
Thank you.
It's petty.
Ciela.
It's petty. But that's the flyer I'm going to use is the FBI flyer. I don't understand why Sumner County is a little pissing match with the FBI. But I definitely would trust the FBI over Sumner County.
You should email me this.
I know that's a big stretch for some people to trust the FBI over Sumner County.
I know, me too.
In this world, it's really hard to figure out who to trust. But what it boils down to is I have to trust the FBI more than I trust Sumner County.
And if they take over it, it will get rid of a lot of the suppositions about Chris and Katie's connections, which I think that's a huge thing with the way they started this case by calling in somebody they know and ultimately just walking away from that house and locking it up and leaving. It's kind of like when your daughter's abused for years and then she dies and you hurry up and you cremate her and then you take the first deal you could get from the guy that's been abusing her and you just walk off in the sunset, right? And why the reason I brought your comment up is because you know what happens with missing runaway kids all the time? You know who they normally label runaways as? Is the indigenous and the Black and Hispanic community. They're all just runaways. Because you know why? Because they're too boring to cover, right? We don't want to cover. Who cares about the indigenous or the Black or the Hispanic community? Who cares about those, right? That's wrong. But anyhow, let's keep going.
There's a lot of problems, and we need to be willing to actually march our issues
I agree.
all the way to our representatives,
Hey,
our state
Angel,
representatives, our Senate representatives. We need to remember that we are the people. We are the people. Our children suffer every time that we elect these people to represent us, and they don't represent us. They get elected into office, and then all of a sudden they're stealing resources. They're fraudulent. They got multiple $1-million freaking estates while they sit there and they're they're living in multi-million-dollar.
It's not me saying that. I'm teasing. I'm saying other people that do that, and this is nationwide. This is international. That a Black and Hispanic and indigenous community, they get labeled as runaways all the time. That's why many people that do take the lives of prostitutes, the hookers, the sex workers, and the people that are on D-rugs. They take their lives first because they know that law enforcement and even people's family members aren't looking for them and they can do what they want with them. So I was saying what other people say. They don't want to label them properly. They just want to call them runaways and forget about it. All right. And there's a reason why Sebastian's being forgotten about. All right. There's a reason. Jay, does KP take meds and did she overdose? SR. I don't know. I don't have that. There's a lot of rumors, but I think something happened that night when we heard a thud. And whatever happened that night when we heard a thud, Chris came to clean it up and he helped Katie. He walked her through it on the phone, came home, and helped her dispose of something, in my opinion. Yeah, I can't wait either. All right, let's keep going because we got a little while.
Other estates. Well, they couldn't rub two
Thank
pennies
you,
together
Claudia.
before they got elected.
Hey, Melissa, good to see you, my
There's
friend.
a problem with that, people. There is a problem. It's not the fact that the system has failed. The fact is that we have allowed the system to fail because we have put the people in this position to use that system against us because checks and balances are not being used properly. This goes back to economics and government, things that they're supposed to be continuing to teach us. They taught this stuff back in my day in school. And the fact is that we've let it get out of control. It goes all.
Now, the likelihood of, at the time, a 15-year-old autistic boy being trafficked or sold is not very likely. Now, I can only go by statistics when I cover cases like this. And statistically, I don't think that Sebastian was sold or any of that type of thing. All right. So I don't know. We don't have a theory. Nobody has a theory. There's a lot of different theories. So I can't really give you one, unfortunately. I do. Like I said, if you heard the story, last person to see Sebastian alive was Katie that night. And the story just goes cold after she heard a thud. Nothing else ever happened until the next day when he was already missing. And then the phone call and then just nothing. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
The way back to, how is it that these mayors are still in control?
You think the thud was fabricated?
How is it that they continue to get elected over and over and over again?
Not
over and over and over again. They shouldn't be. There needs to, term limits is one thing, but how many terms are you guys going to let?
I'm not even going to put the possibilities. The other day, I heard the most disgusting possibility. So if you guys want to say that maybe Seth put out an OD possibility in the beginning, possibly, but I've heard some foul stuff and I don't believe any of that. I think something bad happened with Sebastian and Katie cleaned it up and Chris helped. That's what I think without giving you details because they don't know what the details are. But I know that there was some kind of abuse in the house. I know there were CPS reports against Chris Proudfoot. I know that Sebastian was supposed to go with Seth the next day, move in the next day or the next week fully. I know that Chris didn't want Sebastian living with his child in the same home. I know a lot of things, and those lot of things add up to him disappearing, something bad happening.
The sheriff be in there. How many times are you guys going to allow the sheriff to be reelected? How many times? That's just Sumner County. I live in Montgomery County. I've seen what has happened here in Montgomery County. I've seen what the sheriff has done, and he's probably not going to like what I'm about to say. His daughter did some really messed up stuff when his daughter did what she did.
Yeah, there's some ugly stuff.
What is this whispering? Hold on a minute. Whispering. Where is it? Whispering Winds Donna. No one is being held accountable. The reason no one is being held accountable is because we the people, if we do not hold them accountable, nobody is going to hold them accountable.
And whoever you want that to be, hold them
accountable.
We have to hold
them accountable. We the people have to hold these people accountable. We do. Sheriffs are elected position. Not every place, but most places, the sheriff is an elected position.
Yeah, that too.
The real me, exactly, Seth. The people have to vote them out. You're right.
Well, listen here. Here's the thing, Carolina. Here's the thing that makes Chris and Katie seem really guilty. Number one, Katie's the mom, and she was the last person to be seen with Sebastian. All right. So if nothing nefarious happened and he snuck out and fell in a hole, then why did Katie pack up and leave a week later? And while they were having a vigil, instead of crying about her vigil, crying at the vigil and pleading for her son and helping to pass out flyers, and people say she went around the neighborhood, supposedly she went around the neighborhood yelling for Sebastian. The people in the neighborhood said she didn't even have her windows down when she was looking. So if something didn't nefarious happen, it were an accident, would the parents behave like that or like that? I ask you. I'm not answering for you.
The sheriff shouldn't be useless. Joanne Atkins, the sheriff shouldn't be useless. The sheriff should be the person that's making sure all of his deputies are doing their job. The sheriff should be the one making sure that the corruption has been eliminated. It's been too long that some of these people are in power. We, the people, put them in power, and then they sit there and they stomp all over us.
Yes.
And who suffers from it?
Seth is
Our
like
children suffer from it.
older.
Our children suffer from it. We have an epidemic from it. 400,000 missing children in the United States of America. My kid is one of them. Should be a lot of upset parents out here.
It is weird, but it's also weird dressing up like him and insulting him. I could see how his emotions are all over the place. It's also weird when he says in the interview that Katie doesn't want him to die because if he dies, she knows what's going to happen. What does that mean? But just because what Seth says is weird or sometimes doesn't make sense, can you imagine feeling this way? And then while you're doing this, people are in your chat attacking you and calling you names. All right. That's what was happening during this live because he was live when he said this stuff.
Should be a lot of upset parents out here.
Look at his eyes.
There should be a lot of upset aunts and uncles. Should be a lot of upset teachers.
Possibly.
Should be a lot of upset people. Shouldn't just be me. If we are not willing to band together as a people to take care of the problem with our children going missing, being trafficked, being abused, who's going to take care of us in the next generation? There won't be another generation. There won't be another generation. They'll be gone. Maybe it's just different for me. Maybe it's different because I only have one child. Maybe it's different if you have multiple children. But to me, I think that if I had 5 children and one went missing, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter if I had one gone missing or none gone missing. Gone almost.
Yeah, if you have his email, you should email him. If you need his email, let me know because he gives it out on the stream and he asks that you reach out to him if it's to pass out flyers or just to give him encouragement about the case. So Bree, my email is below, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com.
2 years, gone almost 2 minutes. Missing for 2 minutes, missing for 2 years. Missing is missing. I'm scared to even share stories about my son.
Because they'll use it.
Because I know you hate channels out there are just going to sit there and twist it.
Yep. They're going to call him a pedo.
And you know what? I don't care. I don't care. I didn't get to see my son. I don't get to see him. I get to hear him. I don't get.
Here, guys. Here's his email.
I don't get to hug him. I don't get to make him his favorite meal. Betty's right when it comes to the petition. There is the petition that's online.
I gave you guys
the petitions that need to happen are the ones that need to be signed in ink.
Please sign
the ones that I can turn around and take to an attorney and serve the DA's office and serve the sheriff's office.
Now, I know that Seth met Katie and she was significantly younger at the time, but I don't want to spread a rumor about 12 and 22 if that's not the case. Now, if he met her when he was 22 and she was 12, I would hope that they didn't start fooling around at that time, but that still has nothing to do with Sebastian going missing and this father looking for his son and other people trying to stop it. All right, that's all I'm saying.
You know, the other day, I got up, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth, washed my face, I'm just looking in the mirror. It just hits me. Sebastian would get up and he would run from his room to the bathroom to use the bathroom. Then he'd wash his hands and he'd run across the hallway back to his room.
Yep.
And every time he did, he'd look over to see if I was awake when he ran.
Yep.
To see if he would wake me up, because he knew that if he woke me up, that the next thing he would do, he knew that the next thing that I would do, when I would come into his room, and if I woke up, I was going to come get him. And the best way I like to wake him up is tickle him, because I love to listen to him laugh. Because there's nothing better than him just laughing.
How could you make
There's
fun of
nothing
it?
better.
How could you make fun of this dude, man? Like,
You
seriously,
took that away from me, Chris.
you have to be a monster.
You took that away from me. You took it away from me, Katie. You took that away from me. I want it back, and I will fight for everything I can to get that back.
If I
You have
didn't
no clue.
thank you.
You have no clue what it's like. You have no clue.
We don't want to have a clue either.
You have no clue what I'm willing to do to get it back either. I will fight. This will never be a cold case. As long as I'm alive, this will never be a cold case. I'll never let it go cold. Only way it'll be cold is if I'm dead. And Katie, you don't want me to die. Because you know what happens then.
See, I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. People stopped and said it was nefarious, and I don't know what that means. Only Katie knows what that means. Samantha says, I have 2 teenagers with autism, and I know Sebastian Rogers didn't run away. All right, what's up, Maggie? You guys, come on in. Let's keep going. We got an episode today. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with your friends. Please spread the awareness. We are Sebastian's army. People that are looking for Sebastian only have one side, and that's to find Sebastian and bring him home. Whether you like this man or you don't, whether you like his parents or you don't, whether you follow Krama all day long or you don't. I don't care.
But we need to start fighting this, not just in the passing out of the flyers.
Yep.
We need to make sure that we start fighting this in the political game, in the political ways to change it. Because if we don't start fighting this the way that they have taken this system and use the system against us, if we don't use that same system to take it back, to make it right, we'll never get our children back. We'll never be able to protect our children the way that we should. Our forefathers that developed this country and wrote the Constitution.
And that's what I'm talking about. We can't get 1,500 people in here that want to care about this man and spread the love. He had 1,900 people in chat, and half of them were bashing him. It's wild, Under Your Scars, to see people's numbers here less than 300, and you've got 3 times that amount for someone to go on and stream him while he's streaming and call him a fat pig and all kinds of other nasty, insulting things. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen in my life, but it also shows you that in this world, evil seems to outweigh good, and we have to keep fighting for it. We cannot give up and just say, oh, because these people, there's so many more people that follow the bad side and do bad stuff, that we're going to convert to that side and start being bad like they are. I'm never going to do that. I won't sell my soul to the devil. I won't. All right, let's keep going.
That's why it was written the way it was. And
Thanks,
it's time.
Bree.
It's time that we start doing what our forefathers did. And we need to use the system the way it was intended to. And it is time to get people out and get the right people in. The money is there. We just need to make sure that the money is going to the right resources. And we need to get the people out and get the right people in and make sure that things are going the right way. Things need to be redone. There is no reason why the Amber Alert system hasn't been redone. I never got an Amber Alert to my phone for my own son.
The father didn't get
I
it.
never got the Amber Alert for my own son.
Nothing to do with finding Sebastian.
That's a problem. There is no reason why I took a Facebook lead and called Lebanon for a lead, and they had never heard that Sebastian went missing, and this was after the Amber Alert. This was 2 weeks after. This was after the 8 days. After the 8 days of searching. And I called, and they had never heard that Sebastian was missing. 8 days. This was after the 8 days of searching. And yet that police department had never once heard that Sebastian was missing. That's a breaking in communication. That means the communication is not complete. That means the system is broken. That means it's not complete. too much.
Well, listen, when you sidestep law enforcement because you're in this small town and you have a buddy, wink, wink, don't call 911. Katie, I have a buddy in this town, and my buddy has a buddy, and money talks. So let's sidestep all that. We'll three-way call this guy, tell him his son's missing. I'll just punk him the whole time, bully him, and I'll cover up for you. But let me make a phone call. Well, no wonder they didn't know after 8 days, because they didn't go through the proper channels. All right. No one has respect for themselves, let alone others. Their compassion, empathy. What happened to walking them out? None of that. That's all lost. But we have to show people the way. If we don't show them the way and we conform, then we're not doing any better. And I'm not going to be rolling in the pig. I'm not going to roll in the mud with pigs and expect to not get dirty. And I know my mom is somewhere here in chat. If any one of her kids went missing for any amount of time, she wouldn't be functioning properly either. So look at this man and tell me you want to make fun of him.
It's broken. Nothing is, there's just too much. The police departments are not communicating. Sheriff's departments are not communicating. That means that TBI is competing with other sheriff's departments, which means that even the FBI is not being communicated with by other. Why is there a competition between law enforcement agencies when it shouldn't matter? The child is what matters. The missing person is the victim.
Yes.
It doesn't matter who finds the missing child. What matters is finding the missing child. It doesn't matter who finds the missing child. What matters is finding the missing child.
And let's
but yet,
sort it
police
out.
departments are competing against each other and don't pass on the information. 2 years now. Going on 2 years, and I shouldn't be going through this shit.
Would you move, Mom?
Shouldn't be going through this shit. Sebastian shouldn't be going through this shit.
Would you leave your house in case I came back?
Fishing this weekend. I shouldn't be here on YouTube, sitting here speaking to people about what's going on. But maybe that's what God's purpose is. God's purpose is, hey, I'm going to make you suffer so that you will use that voice I gave you so you can get it out to other people. Because your voice can be heard. Thanks God, I don't want this. But God's going to give me whatever he wants to give me, whether I like it or not.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what I want. Because the only thing I want is my son. But you know what? If this is what is given to me, then I will deal with it the only way I know how to, which is one step at a time. And I will try to fix what is broken, because that's what I try to do. I try to fix what is broken. And there's a lot broken here. I see a lot that is broken. And it's got to be fixed. Because if we continue to let it broken, then tomorrow there is going to be another parent in the same shoes that I am in right now. And I don't want another parent. And I don't want another child in the same shoes that my son is in. I got to blow my nose.
And don't forget, he's going to stop for a minute. And when he comes back for a little bit, then you guys can't see chat right now. But I assure you that people are going to start coming into chat. And he ends the chat because of it. And then when you go on to find out he says the name, you go to that channel and they're just making fun of him. And then today they went on to make fun of him all day long. That was the stream. I applaud Seth for all his efforts and transparency. And that's what the breakdown was, Trishy, was the transparency. And then the money issues got in between all of it. And then it blew up. All right. Chris Proudfoot. Yes. And he had CPS. He has CPS records. I wish I had those. Is this man acting? Do you think anyone think he's acting? Yep. He sure did say that. Yep, I know. It's a damn shame. Yeah, right? While he was doing this, oh my God, it was disgusting. That's the only reason I wanted to come out here and stand up for this man and talk about Sebastian, because he was attacked by YouTubers while on this stream. You don't think he's being, you think he's acting, or you don't? No, he's not acting. There's no way. I've seen him every time, and people just want to start calling him a pedo because when he met Katie younger and all kinds of stuff. He's reading chat right now. We're almost done because he ends it. Nothing's wrong with the volume. I think he's muted.
I'm
not even gonna. You got to go back and watch, my friend. I already.
It's going to take a joint effort from everybody. This is not. It's a battle that I can start. This is not a battle that I can do by myself. I can start it. I can be there. I can be all the way up to the steps. I can walk into the building, and I can even be the one that hands them the paper and be like, "This is what needs to be done." I can put my name on the ballot. I can do every one of them, but it's going to take we the people. It's going to take everybody. It needs to be an actual movement. It needs we the people to get this done. Not it can't. Lord help me. To sound like my dad, it cannot be half-assed. If it's going to be half-assed, it can't be done. It's got to be full on. It's got to be full on. Anything we're doing 100% all the way.
And we're losing momentum, guys. It's coming up on 2 years.
And this is worth doing.
Now, last night, Chris McDonough said he would help him if Seth reached out. And I saw him in communications with other YouTubers that he does work with. And supposedly he got connected with McDonough. And that's why I wanted to play a little bit of the McDonough and Lab so you can see the things that they think about this case. So hopefully
how can you help with the movement? You start in your state. You start in your state.
They all have kids.
You start in your state. You start with your representative. You start with who represents you in your county.
Yep.
Who represents you in your county? Who represents you in your county? As for Sebastian, share his picture, share his name, talk to people. I tell you what, you don't want to share his picture, you don't want to hand out flyers. I put some of his, I put shirts and stuff on the thing because people have been asking me for shirts. You won't find this shirt. This shirt right here is the one that Karen got me. But there's shirts with I've got shirts on the thing. It's the end on the back of them is the FBI flyer. That way, and it's got the code on the back for the FBI website, so that it goes straight to the FBI website.
They already reached out
to me.
On the back,
it's
Nancy
I
Grace.
can't remember what they call that right now, but it's got the FBI posters on the back of it, and it's got the code for
the
QR code. You scan it, takes you straight to the FBI website.
That's why he's reading chat, guys, because people are offering help in chat. A lot of people super chatted him just to be helpful, etc. So he's reading it and directing and giving them, telling him to email. I don't think he'd be reading it if he wasn't asking for help to find Sebastian. So he doesn't want to miss the opportunity while he's streaming with 1.9 thousand people in chat to get the help that he's asking for.
It's got a picture of Sebastian on the front, and on the back is the FBI website. You know, scan the little code. Hey, look, this kid's missing. It's a walking billboard.
Yes.
You know, Kendra, where would you like to search? If you want to come down to Henderson and search, I mean, whoever. The issue with the U.S. Marshals and the FBI, I am working on that. I am working on getting an appointment with the FBI so I can get in and speak to them about coming in and taking over. It takes forever to get an appointment. I mean, every time you go on there and you see Cash Patel is in the middle of dealing with, you know, the Epstein files and all that stuff that's going on, which I really think they should release the Epstein files. Every time that he's doing that stuff, that means I can't get an appointment. I've been trying to get an appointment with Don Bacino. I've been trying to get an appointment in with them to speak. I've been trying to get in with an appointment with the FBI. You know, the U.S. Marshals have no control over the TBI here or anything else. They can't. The U.S. Marshals don't do investigations. They do recovery. They can track people down, but they don't do investigations. So I've been working on trying to get in with the FBI. Now I have spoken to my contact with the FBI. I just spoke to him on Friday. We still get tips in every day. They're still following up every tip that they get in. We're still working on this. We're still getting tips in, and we're going to continue to get tips in because we continue to ask people to send in tips.
Exactly. You wouldn't move away. You wouldn't move out of your house.
Butterfly Kisses wants to know where I get a shirt. Can somebody?
We're almost done. It's going to cut off, and you'll see why.
I do apologize. I really haven't been paying attention to chat.
but enough. He's been paying enough attention in
I
chat.
apologize. I haven't heard from Dog lately. I know that he's been dealing with some things on his own end. Same thing with At Night. Certain things have to happen in order for a lawsuit to happen. Right now, it's not going to happen against them too. Is there sand on properties there in Hinder? I don't understand that. I appreciate that, Pebbles. The issue with Chris McDonough in the cold case is that, again, as long as Sumner County Sheriff's Office won't release or give the case up, I can't get any assistance from anybody else because they won't let anybody come in to assist. I mean, you want to know how upset they were that America's Most Wanted came in? They were so upset that America's Most Wanted came in and did their little TV spill. I'd never heard somebody was so disgusted in my life. Brandon Carter was so disgusted that America's Most Wanted came in. You know, I don't know who called them. They don't need to be coming in here. It's so ridiculous.
Why would somebody be upset about an outside force coming in to try to help a child unless you don't want that uncovered, guys? Nikki, always doing well when I'm here with y'all. I hope you're doing good. Don't forget to hit that like and then share this so more people can share the petition, sign it, and hopefully help this man at least with some, you know, something in his head, somebody to pass out flyers to talk to. I mean, you know what's going to happen if we don't keep Sebastian's name? It's going to be 3 years. It's going to be 4 years. And then his body may never be found. That's not good. Now, Seth thinks that he's still alive. You got to give him the hope where it's due. If he feels that way, then he's the dad. He knows better than I do.
Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, here we are now, almost 2 years later. They still haven't found my son. I mean, they are so prideful that I'm pretty sure they think that when they go to the bathroom,
nope,
that the gold industry, you know, follows them and uses their shit for toilet paper. They don't want anybody talking about Sebastian. The sheriff's department doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. Christopher Proudfoot doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. Katie doesn't want anybody talking about Sebastian. That whole family, that whole sheriff's department does not want Sebastian mentioned by anybody. Because of the simple fact is they want to sweep him underneath the rug because they know what's going on and they don't want Sebastian being brought up. I had in order to run for that sheriff's office, I would have to live there. I'd have to live there. And see this person here? If I lived there, do you think that they would not try to have my ass in jail every chance that they got? I mean, think about it. I've got a big mouth and I don't care about them. And I tell them where to go shove it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't sit here and be an advocate for my son, run down tips and leaves, and sit there and be a pain in their rear if I'm wearing orange. And that's exactly where they'd have me. They'd have me in jail as fast as they could go. And I'll be your Huckleberry. But if I'm in jail, they can do whatever they want. And I know how the jail system runs.
Enjoy your night.
I know how they run anyways. And
I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, Donna.
As soon as I would get arrested and get in jail, there's a good chance of possibility I wouldn't make it out alive.
Yep.
I have a feeling I know who this person yeah, I know who you are. I'm not even going to sit there and say your name. I know who you are.
Watch, we're going to get cut off here in a minute because they're messing with him.
Sure, I'll probably strike Queen Bee for streaming me while I'm live.
All right, so you guys just heard that. He said, I'll probably strike Queen Bee streaming me while I'm live, and then soon it's going to get cut off. So everybody went to that channel to see what was happening, and just a bash fest that continued today will probably continue tonight and continue into the rest of the week. Yes, yeah, I'm sure she did, right? That's where the money is, right? That's where the money is. Somebody's covering something, because why wouldn't you want that outside help to find your child?
She doesn't deserve it. She's one of those hate channels. She can buzz right off, you know? They're not going to sweep my son's name underneath the rug. Oh, yeah, I know.
Bye, Melissa. Have a good
Well,
night.
I'm not going to give her any more streaming time. I do appreciate everybody for showing up for my live. I gave everybody plenty of time to prepare for me to be going live. You know, the thing is why they're streaming me, they're still giving me more airtime. But yeah, I think I'll strike her. She doesn't deserve her channel anyways. She does, you know, honeybees are the only bees I like anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate y'all showing up. Together we can change the world. We just got to be on the same page so we can change it. Again, I appreciate every one of you. We can do this.
Prayers
Sebastian
for you.
matters. We're not going to let the distraction and the hate win. Thank you, everybody. Sebastian Strong, Sebastian's Army. Peace out.
They literally got mad when this stream stopped. There's 5 more minutes of black dead space, and they were mad that he stopped his screen because they were streaming at the same time. All right, you guys still here? There's still 207 people in here. Don't go anywhere. I want to show you a little bit about the Chris McDonough and the newly released leaked audio that I played with Chris and the lab. Now, again, he said that if Chris McDonough said that if Seth reaches out to him, that he'd be happy to help him with Sebastian. So I'm not going to play this whole thing, but I want you to hear some of the things that they're talking about in the audio release. Okay, so if you're here, hit that like button, stay here. If you're not going to stay here, I won't play it. Let me know if y'all are going to be here for a little bit.
There's some of that. And
watch.
Let me see. And
thank you,
Deanna. Thank you for becoming a member. And Sharon says, "Thank you, Josh and Chris, for covering this. God bless you both." Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon, Serious Black as well.
Let's go a little bit further.
And Katie calls him, and that's how.
Got a chance to talk to you or Katie yet?
Thank you.
Well, here's the thing. You're not talking to her by herself. Period.
Okay.
You're not going to talk to my wife.
Fine. Set up.
What do you think of that, Chris? What do you think? She's a private investigator. She has no, jurisdiction to, arrest or charge or anything like that. She's just she's hired to help. And Chris saying, 50 days in, you're not going to talk to my wife by herself. Is that what's that?
Period.
It's not happening. Nobody's talking to her by herself. Is that just being a protective husband, or do you think that's like a let me spearhead this situation? Because this was sort of what happened with Dawn as well, where he became the spokesperson for the family, and that he feared Candace talking without talking to anybody without him directing the narrative.
Well, let's just back up just for a second, okay?
Yeah, you got to listen to what he says, because it makes a lot of sense.
Have I left the house?
No.
Okay. And then when you hear stuff like this, you go, okay, well, let's apply common sense here. And that common sense is pretty clear.
Yep.
That it's control, dominance, and power.
He's talking about Chris.
He is displaying that. If your child if there's nothing going on anywhere, anyhow, no cats, no, coming out of the hat, no rabbits, no nothing, then you cooperate with the authorities.
Again, he's talking about the leaked audio where they're fighting over the property line. Now, I don't watch the Krama either. I wish I would have never even knew about the Krama channels, but when I got brought onto Turtle Island the very first time is when I was introduced to all the Krama channels, because those were the people that were up against me on Dolly Vision. And so you can't, once you know about it, you can't unknow it. And when you're watching a channel like that and he says the name of who's streaming him at the same time, and he's going to go striker, then you got to listen to the other side. I don't want to direct you guys there, because I got to tell you, once you get into it, it's toxic. And I don't ever normally play that or talk about it, but it's incorporated into this now. It's part of the case. All right. Okay, Chris McDonough has his own channel. He does a lot of missing and indigenous people. He focuses on that pretty heavily. And I got to tell you, he's more than that. But what he says in this interview is just spot on.
That's simple. Or you at least have a sense of decency because your child is missing, to say to somebody, anybody, and yeah, granted, people respond, differently, emotionally, etc. But they don't respond with anger. Anger is a defense mechanism. Okay. And it's a loss of control. And so you hear it right off of the bat. I'm assuming he's not there I
think he's out of town, possibly working, and that she's by herself, wherever she is. But when the private investigator shows up, she calls Chris, because I think that's what sounds like that's what she's been directed to do.
It's called
Okay,
Chris.
well, in law enforcement, that would be a sign of deception, because for a couple of reasons. Let's say you pick up the phone and you say, "Hey, Mr. So-and-so, such and such, how about coming down the station? Let's talk for a moment. I got a couple of questions." And they come down the station and there's somebody with them. Okay. And you go back and you're in an interview with this individual, and you say, "Hey, blah, blah, blah." And they tell you a whole story. And at the end of the story, they say, "Well, if you don't believe me, go ask Frank, who's in the waiting room." Okay. Well, why do we need Frank to reaffirm a story that you are projecting as truthful? And it's the same principle. Why does she need him to talk to woman, another woman who's standing there at the house, who's volunteering or has been hired by somebody or something, even if it was the cops?
Yeah, again, the leaked audio, Chris starts yelling at her. Why doesn't she, as the mom that lost her child, right? Chris Proudfoot is never going to love Sebastian the way a mother should that gave birth. All right. There's no reason that Chris should be speaking for Katie unless they have something to hide. Again, listen to this guy. He knows
If she was hired by anybody. Okay. And by the way, I think I heard in there, he said, "I was just at TBI in Jackson," or something to that effect.
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's, the west side of Tennessee. So and Memphis is south of that. So do you hear where I'm going here with that piece of the puzzle?
Yeah, I do. And that's why I didn't quite understand, why Chris, why Chris is involved in this particular conversation. I think that this is a conversation that could probably be handled between the two of them, but
they're quite capable of, handling it themselves. Where they need him in the middle for.
Yeah, and I thought that it was, but like I said, I can understand people not wanting people to come onto your property, I'm not saying that that's what she was doing or peering.
a little bit more forward.
Chris Kiki, 2025 True Crime. I don't think she really I don't even think she poked him. I think he poked himself.
Of course. Well, that's natural, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
you know what we should do, Josh?
What's that?
Let's get one of his ex-wives on your show, and I'll come on.
Chris Proud.
And we'll poke the bear. And I'm sure, I'm sure he'll go 0 to 60, 900, maybe 1,000. I'm not sure. I'll put a space helmet on.
They want to poke the bear, and they're talking about Chris Proudfoot. All right, let's keep going.
Sex offender. He said, "I'm free to go do so," which is what I'm doing. Okay.
Okay, well, first off, when you come on somebody's property, you're supposed to announce yourself because we have it posted, no trespass. It doesn't matter what your fucking job title is. Well, once it's hit, I try to explain to you. There's no property lines in that entire subdivision. There's no community. No, nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
So where you were walking at
Avon. Amway. Pull a brush, man, here.
Yeah. And we're still going on about the property line.
Yeah, I'm Jehovah's Witness.
I'm selling steaks out of the back of my truck. It's great. I mean, it's that.
Can
is
you imagine that at the front door? Holy cow, this would be great. Good stuff. But go ahead. Pizza.
When I was a kid, my grandparents, we would go hand out tracts.
We don't need to hear those stories, but yes, he's projecting. All right. What if that was somebody else that wasn't the private eye? You effing bitch. What do you want? You're on my property. Can you imagine talking to anybody like that? Even when someone gets past my gate, past my everything that says no trespassing, I still wouldn't act like that. I'd say, "Hey man, I don't, you see the fence? We don't accept sales, and there's no trespassing. So appreciate you. Please don't come back on our property." Okay. But I still just want to see if you're interested. No, thanks, man. I would never sit there and call someone a F and B. Get the fuck off my property. What are you doing? Ever, ever, ever. All right. Ridiculous.
There's no way you're going to talk to her without me going through something to that effect.
And remember, that's Chris talking about Katie, and that's to everybody. You're not going to talk to her without me. Remember, he wasn't there that night.
Right.
Yes.
So,
and I think he expanded on that too.
No, you want to pull that control mechanism even further out of him. Okay. You want to see that behavior See how long it takes
Thank you.
for that behavior to manifest itself.
If you got a hold of this audio, obviously none of this is implicating them in the crime.
Of course.
It's about, there's no proof of anything, but I mean, look, you look at behaviors, you look at patterns, you look at, as an investigator, I mean, sometimes even if you can't prove something, do you ever look at, a partner that's investigating with you and just go, it just doesn't feel right. I mean, I don't have what I need, but this is odd behavior.
Well, I mean, anybody can listen to this and go, well, that's weird.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, but
go ahead.
If he's like this with Sebastian missing,
imagine how he was.
Can you imagine how he is with Sebastian there?
You think he didn't talk to him like that? That's
no, I mean, like I said, I've never been this mad at anybody in my life. And I've been like wronged personally by people that I love. And I've never.
Wait, what? April in Illinois. Hey, Nana passed away this morning. It's been a hard day. Hey, April in Illinois. I'm not sure if it's your Nana or the user. I see a lot of users on here named Nana. Prayers to you. Thank you for coming into chat. You guys, please say a prayer for April in Illinois. And if you need anything, email me, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. Mad prayers to you. And I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know. Okay, you're Nana. Either way, I mean, anybody that passes away in your family that you love and care about, always just prayers. And sorry for your loss. All right, let's keep going. All prayers, especially everybody in chat is sending you love, April.
I've never gotten to that stage ever.
All right, let's go a little bit further.
This idea that his mother was accused of murder. Well, how would Sebastian know all this? How would Sebastian know? I mean, she's using Sebastian as a pawn in the conversation, where in reality, what she's really saying is, I hate him because he's made money and he's accused me of hurting my son.
I gotta say that too. That's what split them up was the money. And I have no idea why, when Chris and Katie clearly have much more money than Seth. You could tell by their house, that the trailer that they have, they're traveling, just everything about them. So why be jealous or upset about money that Seth is getting or acquiring to find Sebastian? I don't get this.
That's what she should be saying. But what she did, though, is she inserted Sebastian in that role of how is he helping Sebastian by accusing and then making money and just going down a list.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that have to do with Sebastian?
Exactly.
Well, nothing. I mean, it seems like they're airing grievances is what they're doing instead.
Her attention is focused on Seth.
Thank you.
Because the PI that he's allegedly hired is at her door. And so
who gives a shit?
Heather's taking it for the team.
He's trying to find your
what does that
son.
have to do with how is that hurting Sebastian?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's listen to that again.
I'm going missing.
Okay. A little more, guys.
Yeah, I would like. What would be really great in a perfect world would be if I could calm that down a little bit, because right now, but it's not help. This isn't helping Sebastian.
She's right. So whatever they're doing right now, right at this very moment, this discussion that they're having about property lines and stuff, it's not helping Sebastian. Okay, so we've got that out of the way. They didn't want her walking on the easement, and that it was their property line. Blah blah blah. Fine. I mean, okay, they have every right to do that. And personally, I mean, I'm sure it could have been handled with the hey.
Let's go a little bit farther, because I mean, we know that we listened to this. I just want you to hear again the lab. Good creator, but Chris has some years under his belt with experience, and so when I hear him saying this, I'm listening.
That the authorities are sitting back and going, I don't see anything wrong with that guy with the meat grinder.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm listening to this call for the very first time.
Chris doesn't have to
within
be there.
50 days of this child disappearing, and all they want to do is fight about the ex-husband. Okay. And it just doesn't make it again, it goes to show you there is no impulse control here.
Nobody comes.
So what the authorities should be doing is, rather than playing nice with him, worried that he's going to lawyer up, because I'm sure he's already lawyered up.
Now, listen, that's what we do. Thought criminal. I've never had anybody at my actual studio, but I've had Jennifer Coffendoffer on my show. I had Strategic back in the day. I've had a lot of people I've collaborated with, and it's always not FaceTime, but StreamYard or Streamlabs. So that's normally how they do it. I'm not sure what you meant by that or what I was. You're saying he wasn't physically with Katie? No, he wasn't physically with Katie at the house. No, you're getting the wrong end. Okay, I get you. And 555, say a prayer. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, Seth wasn't there at all. Seth wasn't there at all. He was supposedly on FaceTime. All right.
Okay.
Yes, they have. They have. I don't know at this point in time, but they're lawyered up now. And it's also, it was reported by somebody, I believe his name, Nerdy Addict, who was talking to Chris Proudfoot, that Katie was pulled in for an interview some time ago alone.
Not criminal.
And she didn't like the way that the questioning was going. So she called Chris and Chris shut it down. That's the same exact information that I got from a different source. The exact same information that was the last time that they spoke to law enforcement.
Okay. So the way that can be fixed is you just keep poking the bear. Don't play nice.
Poke.
If this was my case, I would call him up and say, you know, you're doing pretty good. What do you mean by that? And let him go 0 to 60. And then you follow it up with, but I'm coming. Click.
Nice. Scare him.
And then you just watch the helium rise to the sky. And you jump on the comet as it's going by. You use his anger against him.
Very true. And it's very easy to flare up Chris Proudfoot. Very easy. But you know what doesn't flare him up is when the other side of this community is saying the most nefarious rumors about Sebastian and Katie, and he doesn't even get mad about it. He gives a little tiny lecture. And I mean, I would be livid if somebody said something about my wife and my missing child even remotely close to that. But he's more mad about somebody looking for Sebastian that may or may not have walked on his property than to hear some most disgusting rumor you could ever think of. And I witnessed that last week. That's what made me jump back onto this case when I was like mind blown. I mean, if you would have heard that, seen that, y'all would say they're guilty AF. Lock them up now, ask questions later. Let's go a little bit forward. We're not going to listen to this whole thing. It's in my description. I wanted to introduce you and see what Chris has to say. He may be teaming up with Seth real soon, guys.
Voice the burn and then say, why are you blaming me for the fire? And she is in a submissive role because she's probably afraid of him.
You heard that?
We have Dawn and Candace dynamics here without the prison terms. You know, Dawn was in prison for so long, you know, his whole life, quote, you know, he grew up in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But the baggage train on, you know, the meat grinder here is 4 other women and probably children that he was abusive to in relationship to emotional abuse and, stress put onto the family.
No, Chris Proudfoot was abusive and has a record of being abusive. You can't tell that in all of these videos where he's controlling and now the person that was abusing Sebastian, and possibly since Katie does everything that Chris says, right? He controls her. You don't think that was starting to leak onto her and she was also becoming abusive with Sebastian and getting annoyed by Sebastian, that maybe it was causing a rift between her and Chris, and that's why he was going to go live with Seth? I don't think that they went and hid him, guys. I don't think that Katie wanted her son so bad that she pulled off this big scheme and paid all this money for someone to kidnap him, and she's paying to house him right now and make sure he has the best clothes and shoes and he's warm. I don't think so, guys. I don't forget about the CPS reports. That's what keeps bringing me back. All right, guys. And don't forget to go check out, just go to guiltyofcrime.com. A lot of people email me and say, Jay, I can't find the merch. Can you send me a link out? guiltyofcrime/.merch.square.site. No, just guiltyofcrime.com. You'll see a little button on the top that says merchandise. Click on that and you'll be able to find everything. So guiltyofcrime.com. Find everything you need there. We have lots of different kind of giveaways right now and dollars off, things like that. So thank you, Tiff. Guiltyofcrime.com. If you want to not have to guilty, I don't like that. Anyway, much easier. What do I believe happened to Sebastian? I believe he made it home that night. They showed that he did. He got a haircut before the roadhouse and all that stuff. They ate. We saw that. Got back in the car, made it home. Something bad happened that night between Seth and Katie, and she called Chris to help her out. That's why they're on the phone so long. He directed her. He came home. Whatever they did with Sebastian, they did. And then instead of calling 911, he phoned a friend, and that's where it began. Yeah, I do believe he absolutely made it home. They showed video. They the other day when I was covering it, they talked about seeing him later on, and they said he did make it home. So that's the only reason. Had I not seen that last week about him making it home, I would have said, no, I don't know. But yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
Family. Okay. And so
those guys hit that like
his
button.
whole
We're almost
MO,
there.
again, he's an emotional arsonist. So he lights the fire and then he screams, you know, you don't understand what it's like to watch the fire burn. And so my assessment of him from a criminal behavioral analysis assessment almost immediately is he has mommy issues.
All right, now we're talking about Chris, and we can keep going on and on, guys. Again, this is in my description. I absolutely, if you guys get bored this weekend, take a look at my playlist. On my playlist, guys, I have the Madeline Soto playlist, Jen Soto, Stephen Soto, all broken out. Summer Wells, Missing Kids, House of Horrors, everything you could think about. If you've been following my channel since day one, then you probably like the cases that I cover. Also, I've been doing this for, I think it'll be 2 years at the end of or middle of February. And if you look at my videos from when I started almost 2 years ago until now, I think many of you will see how much I've grown as a channel, not only as far as presenting the cases, but the graphics, etc. So please do me a favor. If you guys do have time, you can go back and check out the playlist of what I've covered thus far. If you need to catch up on the Sebastian case, it's real easy. I try to make things clear about what happened and give you, okay, here's the next episode. Here's the next. I try not to confuse people on my stance, and many of my playlists have multiple episodes. All right. So everything in one place, guiltyofcrime.com. As you guys know, we gave a lot of really cool things away on Friday. I'm sure we're going to continue to do so in the month of November and also in the month of December. All right. I have, and thank you so much, Under Your Scars. I have a half a month off of work in December. So middle of December, I don't go back to work until like January 6th, which gives me a lot more time to spend with y'all and work on true crime cases. So just want to let you guys know I'm here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. And y'all can email me if you have questions, need help, guiltyofcrimeby@gmail.com. Or you can go over to my sendmecases@gmail.com. Sometimes that takes me longer to get to because I'm pretty booked throughout the week with cases. I wake up on Saturday, I start finding my cases on Sunday, and then I have cases left over from the week before, and then all the cases that need to be updated. So I will be here with you guys the rest of this year doing giveaways, and you never know what we're going to be giving away because you call them like you see them. Thank you, Jennifer B. You know I do. And you witnessed that I found all the channels on Dolly Vision, Turtle Island. I didn't know about any of those people. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you, Turtle Island. Maybe season 7 will actually have a chance at winning without all the drama in the true crime. All right, Mab, glad you stopped by. Happy birthday to Mrs. Mab, which was yesterday. And everybody, thank you guys for being here for over 2 hours. Good night. I appreciate you. Love you. Sadie's mom, a big hug to you. Yeah, the dark side. They bask in being called the dark side. If someone called me the dark side, I would get offended. Nothing about me is dark except for what color I get in the summertime. In the summertime, I get black. My tattoos turn black, and so does everything else. but that's the only time I turn dark. All right, guys, I love you. Big hug to you, Abby Poodle. Mom, love you. Vermont, love you. Midnight Lace, Chief Rocka, Tiff, Garden Critters, Melissa Johnson, love you too. Email me if you want to reach out. And yes, ma'am, I get dark too, right? Only in the summer I get on the dark side, and it's a good dark side. All right, guys, love you. Big hugs to y'all. Mwah. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?